In 1651, the East India Company decided to set up their factory on the banks of river Hooghly. This was an important step for the British. Prior to this, they only had a trading post, and now they built a well-equipped factory with warehouses to stock their supplies, and they also made offices where the company officials would sit. And as trade expanded, they persuaded local merchants and traders to come and settle near the factory. By 1696, they began building a fort near the settlement. So you see, children, by 1696, the English started building a fort near the settlement, and 2 years later, in 1698, the Britishers bribed the Mughal officials into giving them zamindari rights over 3 villages, and one of them was Calcutta, which later on grew into a city, Calcutta or Kolkata as it is now today. East India Company also persuaded the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman. What is a farman? A farman is a loyal order for giving trade permission. Now they wanted Aurangzeb to grant the company to trade duty free. The company kept trying to press for more and more concessions and privileges. So after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, things started to change drastically, as after Aurangzeb's death, his successors were very weak and could not control the empire together, and it started disintegrating. As I told you moments ago, that small regional kingdoms asserted their independence and broke away from the Mughal Empire. We will now look at one such regional kingdom, which is Bengal. So one such Nawab who asserted his independence in Bengal was Murshid Quli Khan. He was the first Nawab of Bengal, and he realized that the Britishers were draining away the wealth of Bengal by doing duty-free trade. So he decided to tell the company who the boss is, and he had many conflicts with them. But he died early, and then we see the next most powerful Nawab of Bengal was Alivardi Khan. But most of the time he was involved in rebuilding and restoring Bengal, and he had lots of battles with the Marathas. Finally, the last and the most powerful one, Nawab of Bengal, was Siraju-Dowla. The next most powerful ruler after Alivardi Khan was Siraju-Dowla. He too was very unhappy with the company's behavior and the way they were doing duty-free trade. He wanted to teach them a lesson, and this led to a number of conflicts with them. The main reasons for the conflict, according to the Nawab, was that the company was not paying taxes, was expanding their fortification. Due to duty-free trade, it was causing great revenue loss to Bengal. They were writing disrespectful letters to the Nawab. They were humiliating the Nawabs and officials. They were also undermining his authority. So Siraju-Dowla was very annoyed with the company and decided to teach the company a lesson. But since every story has two sides, even the company accused the Nawab that their unjust demands of Bengal government was ruining the trade of the company. And they said that their trade could flourish only if the duties were removed. And if they have to expand their trade, they need to occupy villages and rebuild their forts. So you see, both the Nawab and the company had different views, contradicting views. So finally, this led to the Battle of Plassey in 1757.